We have a virtual GoToMeeting tonight, January 13, 2021. We will first do a roll call. Richard Antonetti, present.
Robert McCarthy.
Robert McCarthy, Commissioner, present.
Present.
David Genetti, Commissioner.
President Genetti,
Jamie Hobart Lambo.
present. Jamie Robart Lambo, Commissioner. I would note for tonight's Commissioner Rossi will be absent. I will also note alternate Commissioner Tammy Keenan will be also absent. Jamie Russ, Commissioner.
Are you here?
Okay, we can't see you, but we can hear you. Is that correct, Jamie?
Yeah.
Would you like to, as Commission Chairman, I'd like to welcome you, also all other commissioners. The way our commission works, Jamie, is you can participate in discussion. We're always willing to have the alternates participate, giving us their input. We also have a restriction by the very fact that you're an alternate. You cannot vote on matters, but when a regular member is absent, we can fill you in as a regular member. Tonight we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and I think I would like to place you in as a regular member tonight, which means you can vote on matters for Commissioner Rossi.
Okay.
Is that clear with you?
Yes.
Okay, so welcome aboard to the Police Commission.
Thank you.
We appreciate your participation on all matters. The first matter, do you have all the agendas and material with you right now, Commissioner?
Yes.
Okay, very good. I would suggest maybe tomorrow to call over to the Police Commission's office and give us your, because I do not have your email or your telephone number. That would be recorded by the office.
Okay. Yeah, I'll do that tomorrow.
Very good, thank you. Okay. Roll call is complete. Public participation, I believe Alan Nickel has signed in first. Alan, are you there? Could you turn on Alan Nickel, please?
Mr. Commissioner, Alan Nickel is free to unmute himself. He is self-muted at this point.
Oh, I love to be unmuted. Thank you. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can, Alan.
This is Al Mickle, 95 Woodbine Avenue. First, I'd like to congratulate the chief. Well done, chief.
Thank you, Mr. Mickle. I appreciate it.
Well, and good luck, too. And by the way, thank the commission for adding the chief minutes to the minutes. That was appreciated also. Thank you there. And I have an administration question, I guess. In the last town council meeting, they talked about getting a noise permit for the Crestbrook Park. And they said the police issues the noise permit. And that's what it says in section 1235 of the town ordinances. But it doesn't say how to do it or what the process is. I looked online for the police website and I could not find it. So if somebody could let me know of how to do it and what process to follow, I'd certainly appreciate it. One last thing. I don't know if you're going to have an update on the building of the new police department, but that would be appreciated also. Thank you.
Anything else, Mr. Miko?
That's it for now. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other member of the public? Is there any other member of the public?
Mr. Commissioner, at this time, there is only Al Nickel on the call.
Okay. Since there is no other members of the public, we will move off of public participation and go into approval of the December 9th, 2020 regular meeting. A motion is in order. Will someone make the motion, please? By name.
Motion to accept the December 9th, 2020 regular meeting minutes made by Jamie Hobart Lambo.
Do I have a second by name?
Robert McCarthy, second.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Abstained? Motion is carried unanimously. Correspondence. We did get a correspondence from Hairbanger Salon on 698 Main Street. And the issue there was the problem that autos are blocking their driveway and entrance to the business. It is a hairdresser's salon, and it was accompanied by several pictures taken over several months that is obstructing. I did ask the chief to take a look at it and maybe make some suggestions. Chief, would you like to respond?
Sure. I just want to make sure you can still hear me.
All set. Everything's good.
Terrific. Last week, Sergeant Steve Skoronsky and I paid a visit to the salon. Although the owner was not present, we spoke to one of the employees there. Said the problem is very intermittent. In observing the driveway there, it's one of those kind of obscure driveways on Main Street. It kind of blends into the topography. It's not very noticeable. Two primary recommendations initially here. One is if there is a car partially blocking the driveway or fully blocking it, they need to call us right away so we can come out and deal with it. We don't have any complaints on record, so it's hard to address a problem that we're not being notified about. So we did tell them to just pick up the phone and give us a call. We'll send an officer right over, try to make contact with the owner of the vehicle. Second recommendation is just to try to make their driveway a little more visible to drivers, and that was to purchase a couple small cones just to put out at the end of their driveway near the sidewalk area, just to delineate the driveway a little more from the topography there, so that vehicle operators see that it is actually a driveway and not to park in front of it. If the problem persists, we'll probably see if we can have some better signage installed out at the road stating do not block driveway.
Thank you. Any questions from commissioners? Any questions?
No, I went down and looked at that too, and I agree with what the chief says also, that, you know, maybe a sign eventually in front of that driveway so those people won't park there.
One of the things we had talked prior on that particular issue, Commissioner, is whether or not we would have to go through, since again, Main Street is a state road, and putting up signs, whether or not we'd have to get clearance from DOT. We'll look into that matter as a recourse if the presents a problem of calls going back and forth to the department. See how that works out, but that is a good suggestion as another recourse to solve the problem. Thank you. Going on, as far as new business, I may, residents, as far as impact of speed limit on Bunker Hill Road, intersection with Middlebury Road, and from 25 miles up to 30 miles an hour. The chief did do some check on the roadway, and Chief, would you like to give the commission your information that you gathered on this particular area?
Sure, Mr. Chairman. I went on to the Office of the State Traffic Authority's webpage, which is within the DOT's webpage, and they have listed in there the official speed limits of all the certified roads in every community. and Bunker Hill Road is a certified road within Watertown. And the DOT has speed limits established for Bunker Hill Road, approved speed limits, and they've broken that road up into 3 different sections. The first section is from the Waterbury line to Straits Turnpike. The official speed limit there is already established at 30 miles per hour. It should be noted that the signage on the road, though, is incorrect, and it does state 25 miles per hour on the signage, but it is authorized to be a 30 mile per hour roadway. So it's a simple matter of changing out the signs. The section of Bunker Hill from Straits Turnpike to the intersection of the Davis Street extension, which is a short segment, is 25 miles per hour. But the signage is pretty much missing in that area and would have to have new signs put in. The rest of the road from Davis Street extension all the way out to the Woodbury line is 30 miles per hour and properly signed.
Okay. Commissioner, I believe it was Commissioner Janetti, you had some questions on this particular issue. Commissioner Janetti? Commissioner Janetti, are you there?
Mr. Chairman, my only concern was that to allow the residents some input on the speed limit increase on their street.
Yeah,
I have no problem with the 5 mile an hour increase.
okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, under old business.
I did CC Mr. Kavanaugh on my findings. I would be hopeful he'd be able to make the repairs to those signs and install the proper signs when the ground thaws in the spring.
Hopefully we'll see that done and that'll correct that problem. Under old business, we have a tentative hearing that was scheduled back in November 17, 2020 regarding My Hoopity LLC municipal truck being removed from the municipal towing list. Hopefully this can be resolved at our next meeting in February. I talked with the commission's attorney. He said he is working with the town attorney and also the chief's attorney, and they hope to have drafted by February a new, I would call it the regulation list for town towing procedure. Is that your understanding also, Chief? I believe you talked to your attorney.
Yes, I spoke to my attorney. I also ran into Attorney Jessel today. He confirmed that he is working with Attorney Fitzpatrick and that they're just wrapping up some of the final language and will be presenting us with a draft very shortly.
Are there any questions from commissioners?
No.
Hearing none, we can move on to the agenda. Chairman's report. Of course, you all have been given the opportunity once again to congratulate our new chief, Chief Josh Berninger. And we are all very proud to see him now moved up from a deputy and from a assistant chief at the time. And now, Chief Berninger, do you have any words for the commission?
Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I appreciate your kind words, and to the rest of the police commission, I very much appreciate your support. I've enjoyed very much working with each of you over the past 2 years, and look very forward to continue working with you over several years to come. I'm very excited for the future of the Watertown Police Department. Chief Gavalis left a very good department. So I have a very good launching pad right now to make the department flourish even better than it is. I'll lay out my vision statement here in a little bit. But a lot of exciting things in the works, and including the project for a new facility. So I'm very excited to be here. Watertown's a great town. It was a warm welcome from day one, and continue to work with wonderful people, both in government and the citizens. So I couldn't be happier. So thank you very much again.
Thank you, Chief. I believe all commissioners did receive, I asked to be included in your packet, is a vision statement by the chief. And one thing I noticed, a word that is constantly used in the chief's vision is we, rather than an I, it's a we. And I assume the direction is going to be a mutual cooperative event to move the new police facility forward, and to see our pride in our local police officers to continue in a group effort. And I think as you read through his mission statement, I think you too will be proud of our new chief. The second item on our item B is I would like to see a motion be made to set some sort of a timetable from the Department of Public Works, basically get from the Department of Public Works some sort of a timetable as to when the RFB, the rapid rectangular flashing beacons, when will they be ready to be installed? Now, I know that there's a lot entailed, but if we have a timetable from the Public Works Director, Roy Kavanaugh, I think it gives some motivation to say, okay, maybe in the spring, we were going to start with this timetable. Maybe what is the plan? That's all we would like to see. And I think as a commission, we should see that plan readily available. So any questions from commissioners? What do you think of this particular motion of requesting from the Director of Public Works some sort
Mr.
of
Chair,
yes?
Mr. Chairman, Commissioner Genetti,
Yeah.
what I would like to see more so than a motion is an invite for Mr. Kavanaugh to attend our next meeting and lay out his plan for the timeline, not just for the beacons, but for the entire road safety audit project.
That, in fact, is my second proposal. Now, one thing I would like to say on the RRFBs, the town council did approve the balance of monies needed for the placement of the RRFBs. So money is there. It is just moving this project forward. It is, I think, a very key part of the road safety audit. And if we get that done, I think the next phase is the final draft of the road safety audit. There is a rough draft. We did preview that rough draft way back in, I think, October. And then again, it was going to be set for the public to have input in November. And here we are in January. Sometimes I get a little anxious on things not moving forward. I think there should be some timetables. So maybe your suggestion, Commissioner Genetti, to have Public Works Director come before us and have him detail and I do need detail when, are we gonna get movement on it? Will it be spring? We went through, of course, the period of winter. We didn't have them installed. We're gonna go into spring. Will it be spring? Will it be summer? What's the problem? Maybe coming before us will solve some of those problems. So.
Mr. Chairman, if I may add, Commissioner Genetti again, and that would allow us also, the commissioners, to ask Mr. Kavanaugh some questions about the project, not only about the timeline of the project, but some of the processes and procedures in different aspects. So it's been a while since he's come before the commission, and I do think it's time for him to appear and address some of our concerns.
Okay. Then won't need any motions then on both B and C, but what we could do is get a new motion from all members. If you'd like to make that motion, Commissioner Genetti.
So moved.
Motion has been made to request the attendance of Public Works Director Kavanaugh at our next February meeting. I believe that's the nature of the motion. All those in, do I have a motion to a person, Genetti, making the motion? And do I have a second on that motion?
Second, Jamie Lambo.
Motion has been seconded by Commissioner Jamie Lambert. We'll take a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those
Aye.
opposed? All those opposed, hearing none, motion is carried unanimously. So therefore, commissioners, we will have hopefully Director of Public Works Kavanaugh appear before us. I will request that to him. I'll get an email out to him tomorrow requesting him to attend our February meeting. Okay. Police Chief, we have your monthly report. I believe all the commissioners have that. Any comment from commissioners? Chief, do you want to make some comments on your monthly report?
Well, you have both my statistics report as well as I emailed out to each commissioner this afternoon a kind of the report I provide the commission monthly on basically a synopsis of what's happened within the agency in the last month since the previous meeting. Mr. Chairman, would you like me to read through this report or just have the commissioners review it on their own?
Well, I think if you review it, it'd be good, Chief.
So over the last month, as you know, Chief Cavallis has retired as of December 31st. That leaves us with 39 sworn officers and 1 vacancy, which we will work on filling. Our latest hire, Officer Ciccarello, has graduated from the Field Training Officer Program and is currently assigned to the midnight shift, which was none too soon because our midnight shift, unfortunately, has been plagued with many positive cases of coronavirus. So we've definitely been running a little short and ramping up some of the overtime on the midnight shift. When coronavirus tends to get into a shift, despite all of our protocols that we have in place to keep employees separate, it does seem to spread. Luckily, none of the cases are serious and everyone should be back to work within about a week or so. We've had about 5 additional employees contract the virus in the last month. Total since the beginning of the pandemic, I'd say about 10 of our employees, I believe it's exactly 10, which is 1/4 of the department, has contracted the virus. The department has hired a new animal control officer. Her name is Judy Umstead. She replaces Animal Control Officer Pat Conti, who retired after 31 years of committed service. Judy has 17 years of animal control experience, comes fully certified, and has definitely hit the ground running, already taking on some pretty good cases. So I've been very impressed with her abilities. She also serves as the town of Woodbury's part-time animal control officer. We're definitely lucky to have her. The retirement parade and ceremony for Chief Gavalis, which was held on December 30th, was a huge success. The chief was extremely appreciative, and we certainly wish him a healthy and enjoyable retirement. I have been collaborating with the town manager regarding the selection process for the position of deputy chief. The position will be posted internally in the near future, and the Connecticut Police Chiefs Association will be contracted to assist in vetting the candidates. The department's proposed budget was submitted to the finance director at the end of December. Our first budget review process is scheduled for next Wednesday, January 20th. In regards to the new building project, Jakunski Humes, who is the architect hired to conduct the pre-referendum work for a new police facility, has also been contracted by the town to conduct the same work on a proposed community center. I am hopeful that the town council will have the information required to approve a site for the new buildings in the near future. With a site established, the architect can produce a physical rendering of the facility and a professional cost estimate. And once a professional cost estimate is in hand, town council would then have to authorize the project to referendum, which is my understanding. So we are simply waiting right now for town council to vote affirmatively on a site for the new building. Without that, the project can't move forward. In regards to the noise permit question that Mr. Mickle brought up earlier, the town manager did ask me about 3 or 4 weeks ago to start coming up with a permitting process. I do believe Mr. Mickle is correct when he says we do have it in our ordinances, but there does not appear to have ever been a permitting process ever developed. So we are working on putting one together now. That concludes my report, and I'm certainly willing to entertain any of the commissioners' questions.
Any questions from any of the commissioners? Chief, I have a question. Has the department fully received a vaccine for the COVID?
Every employee at the police department who wished to receive a vaccine is in the process of getting them now. I myself received my second dose last Friday. I don't have exact numbers, trying to obtain them through Waterbury Hospital as to how many of our employees actually got vaccinated. It's difficult information to obtain, and it's changing every day because many employees are still in between their first and second doses. Some of them are just going for their first dose now, and several employees are been a little reluctant and are on a kind of a wait and see what happens to the people who went and got their doses already to see what happens. And I also have a handful of employees that are adamant that they do not want to receive the vaccine, which was a little surprising. So I am hopeful when the dust settles within another month or so that I'm hopeful between 70 and 80% of the employees at the police department will have been vaccinated.
Well, if there's any employee that does not want it, I'll fill in the spot, believe me. I think it's a necessity. Look at the alternative, getting the COVID or getting some problem from the vaccine. Commissioner, any other questions that you would have for the chief? Then I think at this time a motion is appropriate. Commissioner Janetti, you have a motion?
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
Have a second?
Robert McCarthy, I second it.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And all a very good night and stay healthy till next month. Hope to see you then.
Good
Have a
night.
good night.
Good night.
Night.